If you've been pouring your heart into your podcast, but your listener count feels like it's stuck on pause, today's episode is for you. We're talking about 3 soulful growth hacks that actually move the needle. And no, you don't need a marketing degree or a massive team to do them. Hey, and welcome to the Soul Podcasting Podcast, the show where we blend soulful storytelling, strategic podcast growth, and the kind of real talk that helps you amplify your voice and your impact. I'm your host, Demetria Zinga, creative founder of the Soul Podcasting Collective. I'm an audio storyteller and your go-to podcast strategist for turning passion into powerful platforms. Whether you're launching your first episode or you're ready to rebrand your show for more reach, we've got you. So grab your coffee, your tea, or your smoothie, and let's dive straight in. Today, we're getting into 3 podcast growth hacks that are actually working in 2025 and beyond. And these are not outdated social media tips or just cross your fingers methods. These are things that I've seen work over and over again with both my clients and in my own podcasting journey. And you can implement them this week if you want. And by the way, I'm going to be sharing more of these kinds of micro hacks in upcoming episodes from time to time. These will be shorter, punchier shows designed to give you that quick hit of clarity, whether you're a solopreneur handling everything yourself or someone managing a small team to help drive your podcast forward. These tips are practical, soul-aligned, and ready for you to take action on right now. So stay tuned for more of these kind of bite-sized episodes in the Soulful Podcasters Toolkit series. I'll be sprinkling these in throughout future episodes in between interviews. And don't worry, I'll keep it quick, soulful, and practical. So here's our hack number 1, which is to create shareable micro moments. So we're going to start here. You don't need more content. You need more shareable moments. And here's what I mean by that. Instead of just dropping a link to your latest episode and hoping that people listen, go into that audio file and clip out about 15 to 30 seconds of aha moments. Now, this could be something emotional or funny, something bold, something punchy, and you're going to use tools to help you do this. So don't worry, this is not something you have to scrub through all 30 to 40 minutes of your show to find what you need. You can use tools like Descript, you can use CapCut or Headliner or any of these things. You can also use Opus Clip, and these will help to add those captions and visuals. And then you want to post those snippets as a reel. You want to do that on TikTok or Instagram Reels or LinkedIn post. If you had a guest, tag them, and don't forget to add a simple CTA or call to action, such as full episode in bio or listen wherever you get your podcast or something like that. These micro moments are golden for discoverability, and they help your content travel way farther than a static audiogram. And this is how you create podcast content that doesn't just sit there. It actually circulates. So that's what you want, movement in your shows. Hack number 2 is to title your episodes like a thought leader and not like a technician. So for example, we're going to talk about these episode titles. Your title is not a file name. It's marketing copy. So you don't want to call the title of your show Episode 17, Productivity Tips. Try something like, "You're not lazy, you're overstimulated. Let's rethink productivity." Something catchy, right? Because that sparks curiosity. It feels more soulful, it speaks a deeper truth, and it makes people actually want to click. So start thinking of your podcast titles the same way you would write subject lines for emails or headlines for blog posts. That emotional resonance and curiosity wins over those keywords. You do want keywords, but you don't want to make your keywords the sole focus of your titles. Remember, your titles are like a hook. Now, I'm going to do a quick pause for a little bit of self-care. And this episode is sponsored by Quantum Bars, which is my favorite go-to snack when I'm batch recording podcast episodes and don't want to be hungry. These bars are plant-based, packed with clean ingredients, and keep me fueled without that mid-afternoon crash. If you've ever edited an episode for 2 hours straight and you realize that you skipped your lunch, Quantum Bars are your new best friend. So grab your first box at quantumsquares.com. Use promo code SOUL at checkout to save 15% on your first order. You'll thank me later. All right, back to the show. So let's talk about one of the most underused growth strategies, and this is guest swaps or podcast cross promotion. Instead of always reaching for big name guests, you're going to find a few aligned podcasters in your niche and pitch a simple idea. You can say something like, hey, let's do a guest swap and promote each other's shows this month. This could be an actual interview trade or just a feature in each other's newsletters or your social media feeds or stories. Borrowing someone else's trusted audience is one of the fastest and most authentic ways to grow. It's mutual, it's community centered, and it's low pressure. You want to think quarterly, but not weekly, just to keep this more aligned with what you're doing. Here's a bonus tip for you. You should know what's working with real-time data. Now, if you want to get smarter about what's actually going on with your podcast, what's working, you want to check your podcast host platform, whether that is Buzzsprout or Captivate or Podbean, or like me, currently I'm using Spreaker. Use these platforms to help you track which episodes are getting more listens, which titles are actually working, and what's driving engagement. You don't need to obsess over your numbers, but you do want to notice patterns, especially if you're testing new formats, like if you're going solo, using solo episodes, you're using seasons or guest interviews. This is going to help you see what's working and what's not. All right, my friend, that is it for this episode. These were your 3 soulful podcast growth hacks for this week. I want you to remember to create shareable micro moments. Make sure to incorporate those thought leader episode titles and guest swaps that could build connection and visibility for your show. Which one are you going to try first? I'd love it if you screenshot this episode, share it to your IG stories, and tag me at Soul Podcasting. I'd love to celebrate your next growth move. And if you're ready to take your podcast from nice to have to legacy level platform, check out the resources in the show notes. I've got something juicy in there for you, as well as editing support. If you need a team behind you, we're here for you at Soul Podcasting Collective to help you with your edits. And as always, keep podcasting with soul, with purpose, and with power. I'll catch you next time, friends. Happy podcasting.